welcome. This is Erica Glessing, and today is the International Day of Happiness. I'm just so thrilled about that. It always kind of gives me joy. It's also spring solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, and it might be turning a different season, I think, the fall in some of the other parts of the world. I'm really joyful today to have with me a very special guest. She's an author in a brand new book that is just launching today on the International Day of Happiness. Really, I mean, how much more could we put on March 20th? But welcome, Dipal Shah. I'm so glad to have you with me today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Erica. It is so wonderful to be here.
Yeah, and I mean, your very website says like joy. It's like Ananda, right? It's like that
yes.
joy is
Ananda for life.
Right?
Yes, the divine bliss. Yes. I resonated with that so much, divine bliss, and that's what I want to bring out into the world. And so that's how I named my website. Well, maybe I'll change my name to that too.
Even though I'm the publisher, even though I helped create the book, I'm still so flippin' overjoyed to announce your chapter. And it was so funny when we had that conversation, because what Dipal wrote about people was how to navigate psychic attacks. And it was such an interesting leap from self-love to that. So tell me a little bit about your chapter and kind of what was going through as you were looking at sharing those tools with people.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Erica, as soon as you came to me and you said, oh, Dipal, I would love for you to write a chapter in a self-love book, I was like, the first thing that I was guided to was psychic attacks. And, you would think, how would a psychic attack relate to self-love? But it's a huge part, okay? And chapter 7, how to clear psychic attacks and open fresh to loving yourself. Because a lot of people don't believe in psychic attacks, but they are for real, whether or not they are aware of them, and it is a conscious type of energy. And so I myself had no idea until one of my teachers taught me and talked to me about psychic attacks and what they are. I didn't believe in them either. I was like, oh, monsters or, ghosts or spirit, whatever. Yeah, maybe they're there. Like in my subconscious, I kind of knew maybe, but I didn't want to bring it into reality.
Well, right? Obviously, you didn't have my ex-husband. Because there was a prolonged period of about 4 years where he seriously wanted to kill me. Like, if he could have just had me dead, he would have been he was so angry when I left the abusive thing. And it was like that daily just attack. And it was so fascinating as I navigated it, because I remember one time I had done all this work. I had done cord cutting with Huna. I had put little special things at the corner of my home that I was living in, my new home without him. And I had done all these steps, and he was still getting in, and attacking. And it was really palpable. And I swear to gosh, I remember one time I sat there with one of my friends who's a heavily guided mystic. She's also in the book, actually, Colonel Lisa. And she's guiding me. And I said, will I ever be done with this? And she's like, yes, you will. It's okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I really am. But I really love that you brought tools for people, because, you may not even be aware of something that holds you back. Like, you may not even know there might be someone attacking you that's holding you back. And the way it can be so insidious. It can be just little cuts or little, like you go to work and they just look at you disapprovingly. Like, it can be these little nuances of things that cause you not to be your best self. So why don't you just kind of reveal a little tool, like a little helpful thing someone can do if they're facing this kind of behavior from someone else or something else or some entity.
Right. Well, see, and the psychic attack that you're talking about is an energy vampire. Okay. And the thing is, energy vampires do leave cords. They do leave emotional distress. And in this book, even though I didn't address energy vampires that deplete your life force energy, your energy gets depleted, right? However, they may leave a curse or a black magic or an entity or something behind, an implant where you keep feeling that energy. And those are the 4 kinds of energies that I'm speaking about within the book, okay? Because I've encountered these energies in my own family members, you know, and within myself after I learned about it, because I was more aware and more conscious of the energy, right? And that's the thing, when you're more conscious and more aware of this energy, which is so important for people to know, that's why I wanted to bring this awareness into the book, is that, okay, so since 95% of people are walking around with a psychic attack, the ones I mentioned, you know, if you're more aware, you know how to take care of yourself. You can find ways to take care of yourself, right?
Right, right.
You live in the present. Find ways to live in the present by meditating, taking care of yourself. You know, self-love. Right before we got on this call, I had mentioned that, you know, self-care does not mean that you're egotistical or selfish. It actually means you're taking care of yourself. And when I even talk about self-care, it's not even going and getting a massage for an hour. That's not enough self-care for us, okay? So what we need to do is have a full practice of self-care.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You know, I wish we had like forever. I want to just mention the name of the book because I rarely do this on my show, but since I have published over 40 books, it doesn't make sense not to occasionally name them. And today is the book's birth. So it's called The Courageous Self-Love Journey. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you all here with me on this journey. Today we have Dipal Shah, who's again chapter number 7. I love the chapter right after yours. I have to give a shout out to Gail Nicholson. She wrote a chapter called My Summer of Manilow, and it's how her going to Barry Manilow concerts helped make her, you know, feel alive. So Dipal, just why don't we kind of close up here by letting people know how they can reach you and find out more about you.
Definitely. It's Dipal Shah, DIPALSHAH at anandaforlife.com. That's my email address. And if you want to check out my website, it's ananda4life.com.
Great. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, Erica.